Hey guys, so I'm here with my partner Dylan, and we're headed over to Livingston, Montana from Bozeman. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to talk to you about the differences between Bozeman versus Livingston. A lot of people want to move to Bozeman, or they get a job offer and they discover that the cost of housing and the overall cost of living is astronomical. So Livingston is a city that's only 25 miles away from Bozeman. The cost of living is much less, and also the population is much less. For example, Bozeman is approaching 60,000 people. Population of Livingston is just shy of 9,000.
Originally more of a blue-collar railroad town, Livingston has now blossomed into an absolute gorgeous destination. Fly fishing has taken off. It's one of the main cities to the north of Yellowstone National Park, a great place to recreate, and because of that has drawn more and more people away from urban areas like Bozeman to its more rural, kind of traditional western feel.
Yeah, versus Bozeman, that was, originally a cow town. Now it too has obviously sprouted up and has now become a lot more urban. As I said a little earlier, they're approaching 60,000 people. But Bozeman also has boutiques, restaurants. It's just that it's now more of a big city feel and much less Montana than the rest of the state.
With Bozeman year over year setting records for the state and honestly for the area of the country as far as growth goes, partially due to MSU and advances in the tech industry and entrepreneurial businesses, many people are looking to escape to these more traditional feeling rural areas outside of Bozeman, especially if they're coming from a place that, they're used to a 30-minute, 45-minute commute to get to their job anyways.
Right, you can either go 20 miles in that 45 minutes, or you can go 60. So there's a huge difference in prices of homes between Bozeman and Livingston. For example, if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house, single family, just 1,500 square feet, you can kind of bank on in Bozeman paying minimum $750,000.
Yeah.
$750,000. In Livingston, you can still find those homes for around the $500,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less.
Because Bozeman has been on the map for so many years, there are also less opportunities for your traditional fix and flip. Homes in Bozeman typically have already been updated. There's not really an opportunity for sweat equity, whereas in some of these towns like Livingston, you can get into a home for a little bit cheaper and fix it up while you live there.
So one of the other attractive things about Livingston versus Bozeman is, as I was saying, because Bozeman is so much larger than Livingston, Livingston still has that small town feel. When I first moved to Bozeman years ago, people still waved at you when you drove by. You knew your neighbors, everyone kind of knew who each other was, or at least the families. That's not so much the case anymore, I would say, in Bozeman. Whereas in Livingston, that's still very much going on.
Very true. I mean, we're driving on a gravel road now. No traffic, obviously, but every car that we pass, has waved to us. Everybody has smiles. Your neighbors. It's that tight dignity. Despite, it still being a destination for people with second homes that want to be closer to the park, don't care about being right next to the airport, maybe want that proximity to Yellowstone National Park or the Yellowstone River. It's an exceptional place to be. Not only is Livingston a gateway to Yellowstone National Park, it also has other outdoor recreational opportunities, honestly, surrounding it in every direction.
Yep.
The Yellowstone River runs right through town. Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness is not only gorgeous to look at, provides some awesome views, but personally some of the best fishing that I've ever had. You have the Crazy Mountains to the north. Still only a 45-minute drive to Bridger Bowl ski area, or if you're feeling a little more adventurous, about an hour and a half to Showdown ski area as well.
Yeah, and Yellowstone is literally only 45 minutes away from Livingston. Also, one of my favorite things about Livingston are the amount of festivals and live events that they do throughout the year. Mostly during the summer, of course, because that's their biggest tourist season.
While Livingston does have plenty of options, it isn't as much of a nightlife scene as Bozeman might be, as you might expect from a bigger, more urban area. You know, there are options, but they tend to be a little bit further away. Pine Creek Lodge is a music venue just to the south of Livingston. There's the Old Saloon and Immigrant. But other than that, most of your activities are going to be bars, restaurants, a couple of theater events, pretty small. Bozeman, however, has a couple of major music venues, at least for Montana: the Elm, Rialto, or Brick Breeden Fieldhouse for some of your bigger name artists.
There's also the Ellen Theater in Bozeman. There's lots of smaller bars on Main Street that provide live music throughout the week. Many provide music 7 nights a week.
There's also, in both Livingston and Bozeman, no shortage of breweries available. A couple of years ago, I don't know if it's still true, a couple of years ago, Bozeman had the most breweries per capita of anywhere in the country. A couple of my favorites are Outlaw or Bozeman Brewing in Bozeman, Neptune's in Livingston, and Katabatic, both great spots for beer. Neptune's has also recently started serving sushi, has a really great fish menu for landlocked Montana. There are a ton of dispensary options for those of you that are into that sort of thing. Honestly, at this point, you can't drive 5 blocks in Bozeman without hitting one.
Now, there's one thing that hasn't been mentioned between Bozeman and Livingston, and that's I-90 or the pass from Bozeman to Livingston.
Yeah, well, many people do commute from Livingston and to Bozeman and vice versa. If there's one thing that could cause you to not do so, it is that pass.
There can be 1 to 3 times during a winter where you might not be able to make it over the hill due to ice. It can get pretty treacherous, and they do sometimes shut it down.
Most of the time, they know that, that area is a trouble area, and they'll clear it up quickly. But in periods of heavy and or wet snowfall, they will occasionally close those arms and shut down the interstate in that area.
And as promised, here are the top 10 restaurants for Bozeman and Livingston. Okay, so for breakfast in Bozeman, 2 of my favorite spots are the Western Cafe and Main Street Over Easy. Both serve your typical diner fare and have been main staples of the city for a very long time. When it comes time for lunch or brunch, 2 of my favorite spots are Revelry and Jam. Both serve a variety of different foods, and you can get both breakfast and lunch fare during those hours. And when you're looking for a stellar meal out, 2 of my favorite restaurants are the Urban Kitchen and Feast. Now, these restaurants are a little higher on the spectrum when it comes to price, but it is well worth it. If you're looking for pizza, 2 of the coolest places you gotta check out are Tarantino's and Red Tractor Pizza. Both make brick oven pizzas. Tarantino's stays open late, and Red Tractor Pizza has music 7 nights a week. And if you're looking for a fantastic burger, I definitely recommend the Backcountry Burger Bar and Ted's Montana Grill. Now, the Backcountry Burger Bar sounds exactly what it is. You go in, there are some seats, but there's also a bar in the back, and they serve handmade patties as well as local beers. While Ted's a smaller chain owned by Ted Turner, you can get a great beef or bison burger there. Now let's move over to Livingston. And if you're looking for a great breakfast spot, 2 of my favorite places are Pinky's and True North Cafe. They serve great American-style breakfasts and both have tremendous coffee. For lunch, you gotta stop through a main staple in Montana, the Pickle Barrel, for a great submarine sandwich, or go down the street and get yourself a fantastic burger or steak at Gill's Goods. Now, Gill's is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and next door is the Murray Bar, which also provides food and live entertainment. For dinner, you can try the aforementioned Neptune's Tap House and Eatery, or one of my other favorites, the Mint Bar and Grill. The Mint also has live music on the weekends. And if you're looking for pizza in Livingston, I recommend going back to Gill's Goods for their brick oven fired pizza, as well as checking out the local Rosa's Pizza. Two different styles, but both very tasty. And if you're looking for that fantastic burger, I would check out either the Montana Rib and Chop House or the 49er Diner Bar and Casino. Both have been in Livingston for a long time, and the locals love it.
So if you're thinking about moving to Bozeman, but the cost of living is just too high, then you should definitely take a look at Livingston.
Overall, there are pros and cons to both, but if you don't get the warm, fuzzy Montana feeling you're expecting for Bozeman, definitely worth the trip over the pass.
If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if there's something that you'd like to know about Montana, put it down in the comments below and we'll be happy to shoot a video on it. Until next time.